Welcome to Blockchain Brunch, where the alpha is fresh, the coffee is hot, and the hiring tea is spicy. I'm Emily, the crypto recruiter, and today we're doing something a little different. We're going to roast resumes and profiles. So drop a note in the comments if you're feeling brave. We'll break down what's working, what's holding you back, and how to level up your job hunt. No fluff, just signal the usual. It's great to see everybody here. I've got to open Blockchain Brunch on the regular LinkedIn tab so I don't miss any of your comments. It might make a noise. Hold on 1 second. All right, beautiful. All right, there we go. Noise mitigated. How is everybody today? I love Wednesdays. It's always great to have Blockchain Brunch, to see all our friends. I have no complaints. But I am excited to be roasting profiles. So I think your resume is something that's very underrated. And a lot of people don't even have resumes, which is cool, which is fine. But if you're looking for a job and you're applying to jobs, we need something for them to take a look at. So there's a lot of different resume templates out there to choose from. I would love to help you identify the right one. So drop a comment that you're interested. Now, just keep in mind, if you do end up sending me a copy of your resume, it is something that we will screen share, or even your LinkedIn. So just make sure that you're comfortable with the screen share, and we can do that. Okay, let's see. Go, Paul. Nice program. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Trying to do the right thing. Oh, you know what? Let me go over the open jobs we have right now. Uno momento. Ooh, we got quite a few things. So we filled quite a few things, which is excellent. So I've got a confidential VP of product. I have these are two new ones. I have a head of investor relations and a head of product. The head of IR needs to be like incredibly well connected. So if you are very well connected in the space, this could be a good role for you. I have a staff backend engineer, a founding engineer, a Flutter software engineer lead. That one is remote, either in Europe or the US. I have a head of growth and business development. This is someone that has a lot of experience with distribution. I have a director of operations for a trading company, a senior Solidity developer. We still haven't filled this one. Jersey City or Tampa on site. That's a toughie. We actually let me close the chief technology officer. We just filled that. Sorry to disappoint. I've got a chief operating officer for a mining facility. That one we've been working on for a long time, and a back-end engineer for a trading platform. So those are the jobs we have open. Yeah, that's what we got going on. So drop a comment if you would like us to roast your resume or roast your profile. Definitely want to be bringing value. And I think positioning is really important, right? Having the right context on your resume, having the right keywords, but not too many keywords, is really critical. So I would love to show you guys kind of what we've got going on with different resumes. I can share the resume template, actually. Let me pull that up. Olekamen says, any opportunity in Web3? Absolutely. That's what we do. We're the crypto recruiters. So all the roles that I have right now are Web3 specific. I have something really big coming up that I can't tell you guys yet. But it definitely is very exciting. And I'm just trying to open up this resume template. So we're going to have more opportunities for you, not in Web3. I'll just leave that there. No community manager roles open right now, Gopal. Who did I just saw someone post about a community manager. I would definitely make sure you've got like Google, what's the word I'm looking for? The Google not search console, the Google keyword search, news alerts. So, and you can do this on jobs as well. So go on Google, type in like community, right? That's what you're looking for. Type in crypto community manager, and you can set up notifications. So that way, anytime someone posts a job, you get an immediate notification about it. I know we're getting some people piling in the room. Just a reminder, if you would like us to help you with your resume, please drop a note. Scott, how about an example of what you expect? Good call. I'm going to do that right now. So the resume template that I put together, I have perfected over the last 10 years. Been working on it for a long time. And this is the resume where I get the most responses from. Entire screen, window, here we go. In a resume, yes, fair question. So this is, let's see if it's sharing. Oh, nope. Now we're sharing. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Oh, look, there's me. So this is my resume template. I get the most responses from hiring managers from this. I will help my candidates redo their resume to make it a little bit more streamlined. Now, I have very sensitive eyes, so dark mode is on, so it looks very different, but I'll show you in a second what it looks like regularly. Mr. Olga, I can review your LinkedIn profile, or you can Telegram your resume at the Crypto Recruiter. So the first thing you'll notice, let me see if this will actually work. Okay, beautiful. So this is the kind of printed version. And what you don't see is this page is cream colored. Now, there's a psychology trick behind this, right? If someone is, why is this all highlighted now? Control Z. Okay, whatever. So it's a cream colored paper because when you are HR, hiring manager, recruiter, you're scanning through multiple resumes, right? It's just resume after resume after resume, and it hurts your eyes. The white on black contrast is just, it really does. It's eye fatigue. It's a real thing. So when you put your resume on a cream paper and export it in a PDF, it's a little bit easier on the eyes, meaning they'll spend more time on your resume. So let me close this for a second because the thing is all messed up. Oh my gosh. As you can tell, I like the color yellow, but I probably need to stop highlighting things in yellow. Control open, resume template. Okay, here we go. This is now fixed. Share, add to stage. Okay, beautiful. So page is colored because it's easier on the eyes. You can absolutely change this to go back to black and white if you do not want that. Now, accomplishments, well, let's talk about the title. So you want your contact information to be in the header of your resume. You don't want it to be in the body. You want it to be in the header so it saves room, but you also want it to be a different first page. So that way you don't have a header on the second page. Now you want your phone number on there, your email, your LinkedIn. You can hyperlink this word, city, state, and zip code. Do not put your full address on your resume. One, there's plenty of HR professionals that I don't want them to know where I live. So just leave it off. Now accomplishments. So accomplishments is really where we shine. This is what showcases the reader, your top accomplishments, for lack of a better word. So you want to make sure you've got metrics and numbers in there, right? I talked to a lot of people about this, and this sounds so negative. Companies don't hire people just to hire people. No one is going and sitting in a circle and singing Kumbaya. They're hiring people to make an impact on their bottom line. So you need to show them, hey, here's where I make an impact. Here's the value that I'm going to bring to your company. You can have two experience sections. You could have Web 2 experience. You could have crypto experience. But if you're going for a crypto job, you want that to be the first thing they see. So I have crypto experience up front. Here's how I format my titles and my companies. So title, little line thing, company name, little line thing, title, and then a sentence about what the company does. You'll notice this isn't a font size, one font size below whatever the rest of the resume is in, which your resume should not go below a 10 size font. Put it in italics so it separates, and then build out your resume, bullet points, dashes, make sure it really stands out. You want the reader to see what you want them to see. Something that's not on this that I need to update, you need a sentence about what you do. Just one sentence. This is something they're going to pay attention to. So for me, it would be crypto, if I can type, crypto recruiter with 5 years of experience in the crypto. Oh my gosh. I promise I know how to type, right? So that first sentence, they're going to read. They're going to read that first sentence, and it helps them identify, okay, Emily's a crypto recruiter. She's got 5 years of experience for the fluff. This is not the, what's the word? Cross-functional development, Microsoft Excel. That is not what you put here. So just a reminder there. And then at the very bottom, degree, school, no dates of education. This is going to tell people how old you are. And your age should not determine your qualifications for a job or what kind of salary you should be looking at. Scott, what about contract and interim roles? Would you mind clarifying your question? I would love that. And then Ula, I got your Telegram. Can you drop the CV? I got your message. So I will take a peek at that. All right. Anybody else would like to volunteer and be roasted? You're more than welcome to come up. My internet is not doing so hot today, is it? Sorry if there's breakup, guys. Hey, Trev.
Yep.
How you doing?
Fantastic. It's Wednesday already. Crazy, right?
I like to hear that. So today, here's my thought. We do resume audits. We do LinkedIn profile roasts and see where we can bring value to the community. If anybody has another question about the job market or their career or different directions they could go, let us know. Now, Ola, the resume you sent to me has your contact information on it. Can you just drop a note either in the comments on LinkedIn or in chat on LinkedIn if you are okay with me screen sharing this? I just want to make sure, we don't give any information away that you're uncomfortable with. So let me know there. Mr. John, thank you, Emily. All good info, any product management or marketing roles? Yes, sir. Actually, let me double check before I said that. We just went through the jobs we have open, but we've had so many filled. So product, I have a head of product. That is a very technical role. I also have a VP of product. That's more like being the face of the business and like definitely building more products, but really a little bit more business development focused. Jesse, I would love to roast your resume. Send it to me either on Telegram or LinkedIn at the Crypto Recruiter on Telegram. We'll get it done. Ola, still haven't heard back from you on if you're okay with me screen sharing your resume. So let me know. Trev, you were, I want to say congratulations, Trevor, for becoming a board member of the Blockchain Boston Association.
Yes,
incredibly
indeed.
proud of you. How was your event yesterday?
Fantastic. Really good turnout. One of the best that we've had. Really growing. So I love it. Really good.
Awesome. There's a couple events in Chicago that I'm really excited about coming up. Sorry, hold on one second. Oh my goodness. There's always something going on. Okay. So Ola gave us permission. Yes, no. Okay, here we go. So roasting, beautiful. So I'm going to share my screen. Uno momento. You would think sharing a screen would be easier. Okay, here we go. Add to stage. Love it. Okay, so Ola, what I am looking at here, contact information. So I would add little parentheses around this and a dash just to make it a little bit cleaner. If you can get a shorter email so it kind of fits on here, that would be great. You need to align this a little bit better. Bring the www down. Ooh, and that took me to Canva. Okay. A lot of people aren't going to pick on that. So just so you click on that, just so you know, take your dates of education off. Nobody needs to know how old you are. And then profile. So I like this. This is pretty. It stands out. I think it takes up a little too much space. I am a qualified and experienced brand and you can cut this fluff. You could just do brand and marketing strategist with how many years of specialized experience in Web3 and blockchain. That is literally all you need right at the top of your resume. You can break this down into bullet points, but you really don't want to use the word I in a resume. Let's look at the experiences. So one of the things I'm noticing are the dates are off on the right-hand side. I know that might seem small and like not important. The reason it's important is it gives them an idea of your attention to detail and your proficiency with different tools. So definitely something I would take a peek at. Manage online campaigns, social media presence. Talk more about that. Which campaigns did you manage? What was the result in those? How many followers did you gain on these accounts? What data analytic tools are you using? I think giving more information is going to be beneficial. Right now, let's say, I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Let's say a company is looking for HubSpot experience, right? Or not looking for, but they have HubSpot and they need someone to use HubSpot. They're likely going to hire someone that has that experience. So if you have HubSpot experience, put it on your resume so that way they know. Otherwise, I thought your resume was pretty strong. I like the font size. It wasn't more than 2 pages. Your accomplishment sections, I know I'm not sharing the screen anymore, but the TON blockchain ambassador, the mode blockchain ambassador, very good. So quality resumes. And then I see additional information where you see you got 10K user signups. Just get into the nitty gritty there, right? 10K user signups, where, on what, how did you get that? So just educate the reader, like, here's the value that I bring and here's how I did it. So that is what we've got going on there. Jesse, thank you for your resume. Can you please confirm via the comment section or on chat that I have permission to share your resume?
You know, one of the biggest, I would say, common themes amongst job seekers is that a lot of them assume that the person on the other end will be able to deduct what they are doing in their day-to-day job simply by a job title.
Yeah.
You know, like most people, if you're in marketing, you assume that other people know what SEO means. You assume that people know about all the different platforms and that, like, it's just kind of matter of fact. But unfortunately, that's usually not the case, especially depending on the agency or the organization or the company that you're working with. You know, they may have a new recruiter and they are just learning about the company and the role themselves. So definitely don't assume that someone on the other end is going to be able to deduct or truly understand the complexity and all the awesome thing that you've done in your role. Don't shortchange yourself and undersell yourself.
Yeah, this is your time to brag. Absolutely your opportunity to brag. You got to think of the job hunting process as a sales process, but you're selling yourself. So don't sell yourself
you are the
short.
product.
You are the product. Absolutely. I'm dragging a little bit.
I love that coffee cup.
Oh my God, I know. It's like the same size as my head.
And I have a little teeny one.
I know. I just try to I'm a really good at like optimizing things. So my thought is that if I have a big coffee cup, I can leave my desk less to go make new coffee and just continue to grind. So
and I'm over here just drinking shots of espresso. Straight fuel.
I love it. Straight fuel. Side note, did you know the darker the roast of the coffee, the less caffeine it has?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that, right?
I've been drinking the wrong coffee. Callum, Hunter, how do I share my resume? Go ahead and either send it to me on LinkedIn or send it to me on Telegram at the Crypto Recruiter. Always be branding. And we'll take a peek at it. We can also go over your LinkedIn profile. Jesse, if you're still here, I still need your permission. But if you'd like me to share your LinkedIn profile, we can do that as well. All right. Trevor, we have so many open jobs right now. We just filled a bunch of jobs, but we have so many jobs that like I am not sleeping. I'm just not sleeping. Ola, thank you so much for sharing my handle. I really appreciate it. That is me on Telegram. Feel free to add me. You can see all my stories that I post. You know what? One thing I want to bring to everybody is, yes, Jesse, I just need your verbal permission to share the screen. Thank you for sending it. Just say I give you permission. What were we just talking about? That's where recruiting. We've got a lot of jobs open. I am exhausted. It's going well, but I am so tired. Let's see. Ola is saying, can you roast my LinkedIn? Sure. While we're here, why not? All right. So you are based in England. All right. Let me add this to the stage. Oh, look, you can see us. I don't want to exit out of that. All right. So first thing I see, now keep in mind, guys, when someone gets a connection request from you, all they see is your first name, your last name, your picture, and your tagline. So founder of Web3 Academia, great. 3+ years in Web3 marketing, great. Data science intern, great. But it doesn't make a ton of sense for you to be a data science intern and also a chief marketing officer / a project manager. I think that sends the wrong signal. So if anything, I would just put data science MSc. England, you got your Twitter here. Now you have 633 followers, but only 384 connections. I would beyond encourage you to just network your butt off on LinkedIn. Send out connection requests, the people that are in your same area. Let me just close this. It's distracting. To gain more connections. There's a lot of people that are scamming out there. For example, we have 80 fake profiles on our LinkedIn page. And you know what sucks? I can't make a post about this alerting people because then LinkedIn's going to be like, that's a negative post. Whatever. So I'm working with them to get that removed. I'm a Web3 native community builder, growth strategist, 65K followers on LinkedIn. I love this. This is literally perfect. Who you are, the value that you bring. You're making posts, beautiful. Now, here's the one thing. So we need to build this out to look like your resume. We want to make sure that our resume and our LinkedIn almost look exactly alike. So I would encourage you to copy and paste the details on your resume onto your LinkedIn profile. What I like is you've got these skills attached to it, but don't forget to add the skill crypto, blockchain, Web3. That just adds keywords to your profile. Same with send. I also think it'd be beneficial to add a sentence about what the company does since it's not taggable. Since you don't have it tagged here, so I can't click on the company. So educate the reader about the type of company that you're coming from. Dates of education, we're going to take off. Skills. I like your skills. We want to make sure they're not fluffy and you've got really good, not fluffy skills. Teamwork is kind of fluffy. But that's really like the only thing. I would also take off trading. But that's really the only thing that's fluffy on here. When it says programming, talk about which language. I think it would be very beneficial for someone that only has 300 connections to have a recommendation. Have someone from a previous company, your current opportunity, write you a LinkedIn recommendation. It verifies that you are a real person and you did a good job. So that would be my roast there, my friends. Let's look at some of the comments. So Jesse gave us permission. Thank you, Jesse. Column said, can you review my LinkedIn? Absolutely. Giuseppe, LOL, story of my life. I'm not even going to bring that comment up. Okay. Trevor, I got a resume for you. Do you want to take a peek at it?
Yeah, let me see.
All right, let me pull it up. Dum, dum, dum. One day I'll be so fast with this. Window, entire screen.
I just don't know if I'm going to be able to see the full screen of it, though.
Can you see it?
It's super small.
All right, hold on. Let me see. Is there a better way? Was the other one super small too?
Yeah, I can't see it the same size that you can. Probably it's weird.
Hate that. Let me see. Share screen. What about Zeus?
A little bit better.
Okay. Let me see if I can go even further. Does that help?
Ooh. Yeah, it does. I'm having a hard time seeing it though, but from what I see here, it's standard qualification summary. I like being able to that you started off with that. Dynamic and versatile. Same thing with the other person, right? So we want to make sure that we're removing any kind of fluffy words or anything that's really not going to bring impact. The first glance at your resume, the first 3 to 30 seconds is usually what people are giving most recruiters, right? And if they don't see something there that is going to stand out to them or wow them or to continue to entice them to want to continue to scroll down your resume, that's a huge missed opportunity. So make sure I see some keywords in there: DeFi, Web3, blockchain technology. That's great. In terms of administrative operations, I see here entertainment field experience, cryptocurrency and blockchain. That is good. Go down and scroll down a little bit more, M. So like the education and all of that stuff, I would honestly put that at the end. I want to make sure that you're putting your professional experience up at the top, right? Because it took a little while for us to scroll down and I couldn't see anything that was about your actual experience. And sometimes people will just like straight up click off your resume. They won't even continue to read it. So move that professional experience stuff up to the top. If anything, too, if this all the things that you're putting in your summary, if that's really not like top-notch stuff or particular kind of like programming languages or certifications or anything that's really blockchain relevant, you may even consider putting that at the end because you want to make sure that that professional experience speaks for itself. One of the other things that you can do as well too is you can actually take some of those listed skills and qualifications and then embed that into your actual job that you did at the company and then talk about how much you did for that, quantify it and qualify it instead of just making it as an individual bullet point. But then you can also make sure that you keep that individual bullet point at the end in case that the person was kind of scrolling through your resume and missed it, so that they're kind of getting that double touch approach. So I do like that. You have the years, you have the role with the company, as Emily mentioned before. If you could put a sentence about the actual company, I know what Chia is, but maybe some people in the ecosystem or the community aren't familiar with what Chia Network is. So you can maybe write a sentence about what that is, right? Give a little bit more in terms of what kind of things that you would manage, how many executive calendars that you manage, what were some of the things. Awesome, thank you, Em. Coordinating appointments, what was the outcome of coordinating those appointments? What was your efforts as an executive assistant? How did that help the bottom line of the organization? Were there any things that you were included in or that you kind of took charge in that was able to lead in the success of the organization? I love seeing that there. Major contributions, schedule 50 plus meetings, calendars. Talk a little bit more about the tools. I see that you have Google Calendar, but if there's any other tools or any other kind of popular things that were used that's really good for most executive assistants, then I would put that in there as well too. Then I see another role here, Matthew Mellon. I'm not familiar with what that is. I don't know if that's an individual or an organization. So once again, maybe add a little sentence about what that is. I like what you're doing here. As I mentioned before, just quantify it a little bit more. Make sure that you're not missing anything and having the other individual, the recruiter or the hiring manager have to kind of paint a picture as to what you were doing. So scroll down a little bit more, M. Same thing with this Amuse Group USA Junior Artist Management Admin. I don't know what that is, so maybe you could add a little bit more onto that. And then once again here, now we're going back to 2015, 2016. So standard rule is if it's more than 10 years, you really don't need to include that in your resume, especially if it's not anything that's applicable to the type of role that you're looking for. If anything, you have to kind of be psychological in your presentation. So you want to make sure that you're not giving the other person anything to make a judgment or to be biased about your professional experience. And then if you're going back there, they may see kind of things like, well, does this kind of entertainment role, like, does this even align with what I need in my quote unquote perfect executive assistant, right? So you don't want to sway their attention from all the great things and all the wonderful things that are applicable to the role that you're looking for, that could, take away from the quality and the true extent of how awesome you were in your current role. So quick rule of thumb there, not only for the person who was just up, but for anyone else. If it's more than 10 years of experience and it's really, really not going to help you, remove it from your resume. And if anything as well too, right, then people could potentially, see more than 10 years of experience and start to kind of like age you out and say, wow, this person's been doing work for God knows how long, yada, 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 right? So take it off. Also too, in the education, make sure that you remove any dates of education on there. People don't need to know how old you are. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Good feedback, Trevor. I am in the middle of sending an email to one of our clients. Give me 1 second. Trevor, if there's anything you want to touch on, be my guest. So regarding our conversation with LinkedIn and the 80 fake profiles on our account, guess who just got back to me?
LinkedIn, huh? Interesting how that works.
Oh my God. Yeah, right. They're watching this live.
Love it.
That's something I've noticed, and a lot of people are talking about, is like content on LinkedIn for Web3 is just been shut down.
Well,
I know, like
certain kind of content is being shut down. Other kind of content is being heavily promoted. Interesting how that algorithm just does what the algorithm does.
I've been
so, you know what, it sucks because like it's like we are putting out this content to help other people.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're here. We've been in the industry for several years. Right? We're here. We're doing it. We put out helpful, thoughtful, educational content to help other people to get to a point so they don't have to come to Blockchain Brunch every Wednesday. We want you to find a job. And unfortunately, you're bombarded with just, I'm not even going to say it, S posts, right? Like it's engagement farming. It's just garbage. And now you have to weed through that to sift through and find the actual quality content. So like, we're not upset because we want to be like these superstars and get all the credit and recognition. I can care less if I get a like or 1,000 likes. At the end of the day, my point and my goal is to help other people get a job and to help people in our community get jobs and to get more clients and to help all of you. So that stuff's just going to make it harder and harder for you folks. So it's unfortunate. It sucks to see it, but I think that as job seekers, you have to also do a better job in making sure that you're spending your time wisely and following stuff that's going to be beneficial for you. There's so much noise and so much distractions out there. So I feel you folks, but we'll still be here no matter what, giving you that quality alpha every week, every day.
Every day. I was having a lot of fun posting the news updates and then work just exploded. So working on that. Jasmine, thank you so much for coming. It was great chatting with you earlier today. All right. So Thomas has sent us a resume. We're actually going to have to wrap Blockchain Brunch up early. I'm getting like a ton of emails from our clients about scheduling interviews. So I've got to go get that done, but let's talk about Mr. Thomas. Zoom. Okay. I am a seasoned, detail-oriented. Get rid of the word I. Add in your, LinkedIn is right there, but this isn't your LinkedIn URL. So I'd have to copy this, go to LinkedIn, type this in. That doesn't work for me. There's a lot of text here. So the first thing I did was I scrolled down. I scrolled down and I scrolled down and I scrolled down. So we want to have a 2-page resume, max 2 pages. These are work samples and other like things that you have created, which is incredible. Also make sure that this is centered to the left, but this can be an additional attachment. So I would take this off your resume and have it be a second attachment. Okay, so interesting. Dates should be on the right. So you've been there. Yeah. So how you want to do it is you want to put it on the right. You did it exactly correct here. 2016 to 2024. Then you just have them on the right here, so that way it's a little bit more clear. I'm just reading 2012 to 2020. That's unique. I'm not mad at this resume. It's got a lot of information on it, but you've done a great job with the bolding, so the good stuff sticks out. I do think you kind of need to pick a domain. You bring a lot of value, but we should have multiple resumes that go different directions, right? And I think you can condense some of this per job. So if we're going for a business development job, it's X, Y, and Z resume. If we're going for a, venture general manager job, it's this resume. So I would encourage you to do that. You have a JD. I would put that next to your name, Thomas Sachin, comma, JD. That separates you from the crowd. So that's what I would suggest there, Thomas. I hope that was helpful. Aiden, yes, absolutely. Come next Wednesday. You will be the first person I have. And then Mark, hello. So what about people that are keen to jump into Web3? What roles are most in demand at the moment? Developers. Developers are always the most in demand. And the hardest to find. Underneath developers, I would say product, and we're seeing an uptick in finance and accounting. So if you are a finance and accounting professional, get ready. Good stuff is coming. Trevor, anything you want to leave us off with?
Can we share our YouTube channel?
Ooh,
Can we show
yes,
that?
like
Because
screen
I
share
think we
it?
do this every week. We're always like, follow our YouTube, follow us, and it never happens. So maybe if we can bring it up and show people some of the cool stuff that we have there. For anyone that had the opportunity to join today, thank you, thank you, thank you. But after these sessions, right, the learning doesn't have to end. We've put a lot of full videos up there, hours and hours and hours of incredible content. We have tons of different short clips of the previous conversations that we've had for Blockchain Brunch. We have short clips from Just Shilling. We have short clips from Bullish On. We have short clips from all the other kind of things that we're doing there. So, please, folks, we need your help. And it's not, once again, as I mentioned before, this is not to help us. This is to help you. This is to empower you so that you can help others.
Yep.
People ask me all the time the same questions over and over and over again. And I love answering the questions, but you guys are doing yourself a disservice if you're not taking advantage of all this wealth of information that's here. So if you should be reviewing this stuff. If I were someone that was searching for a job right now, if I was someone that was trying to get into Web3, I'd be consuming this kind of content as much as I possibly could. I wouldn't care about Elon Musk versus Donald Trump. I wouldn't care about the friggin' what the price of Bitcoin is. I wouldn't care about any of that I wouldn't care. It would not matter to me. The only thing that I would be doing is trying to learn as much as I possibly could so that you become more knowledgeable. And the more knowledgeable you are, the more trustworthy you are, and the more trustworthy you are, the better that you're going to do and the quicker that you are going to be able to make a transition to the space. So we're literally giving you the blueprint. It's up to you whether or not that you want to read it and go and take that information and turn it into something positive. So there it is, folks.
Oh, Trevor, you're so perfect. Can we just talk about how unhinged these covers are? What even is that? I need to work on that. Anyway. Everybody, thank you so much for coming to Blockchain Brunch. We always appreciate being here. We're glad to be bringing value. You need me, you know where to find me, and Trevor. We appreciate it. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye, everyone.